All right, you ready to start?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, wait. All right, wait. I don't think it's recording. Wait, hold on. Wait. Oh, just kidding. It was recording. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grease and Oil Podcast. I'm MPS. Unfortunately, my man, your man, Vincent Smith, Sir Vince the Pince Smith, the fourth, isn't here today. Or at least he probably is here, but he's not getting back to me. I'm trying my best to contact him, but oh well, we need to get this up on Friday, and it's almost Friday, so oof. And today I have a special guest here, sort of guest / co-host. It's everybody's favorite wooden railway, Thomas Wooden Railway.
Well, thank you so much for having me, MPS. I really appreciate it being here. And in this episode, I'm going to be taking Vinny's place. And like you said, I'm going to be kind of acting as a co-host and whatnot. So hopefully this should be a lot of fun.
Gonna try and cut down on the swearing a little bit.
Oh, I don't care. It's okay. You do what you usually do.
I'm pretty sure the worst word I've ever heard Keith Gray say is crap.
Yeah.
He said crap and then said, "Excuse my language."
That must have been a long time ago, I think.
I think it was. It was not. It was like this or last year.
Okay. I don't know. That's pretty long ago for me.
Anyways, hi everyone. So yeah, Kikray's here. Vinny might show up in the middle of things and be like, "Why are you recording the podcast without me?" It's a perfect impression of him.
Yeah.
I must say. But if he does, we'll just add him to the Skype call. We're already going. It's too late to apologize. Too late to start. Too late. Too late to stop. Excuse me. Both of us are a little disoriented. I'm just kind of crazy, like I usually am. And Kikri just finished this big weird trivia thing on his Twitter.
Yeah, my heart rate's still up.
Gave him a bunch of random bullshit answers.
It was pretty entertaining.
By the way, follow me on Twitter at Mr. MPS2002 and follow him on Twitter at TWRailway.
Yes.
Shameless plug.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you.
Yep, no problem. What was I searching for? Oh, yeah. We're going to get into some tweets this week, folks. Some hashtag GAOP tweets. Okay. So, one tweet is from, from somebody named at TW Railway. Look at that. The hashtag GAOP presented by Skittles in association with Mountain Dew Baja Blast and MPS's Kung Pao Chicken Dinner. I don't know what this is about. I think I asked Skittles to I asked Skittles to sponsor us. I think I might have read this last week on the podcast, actually. But oh well.
Yeah, so I forgot. Yeah, it must have been, you were like, you kind of sent, like, you tagged Skittles in the tweet, I think, and you were like, hey, can you guys, like, please sponsor our podcast? And then I came up with some witty and funny tagline. Yeah, with a whole lot of product placement in there.
Yeah. All right, next tweet from at Tank Engine Twins. They say there's porn for everything, and then hashtag GAOP. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I like that.
We have one from our boy Rick at eTopHat67. This guy's a longtime viewer, I know. Long time is in 10 episodes that are out. At Mr. MPS, at Mr. Conductor Fan. Time for Grease and Oil, time for Mountain Dew. And it's a picture of him holding a Mountain Dew in front of his computer screen where he's playing our latest episode, our Ellen's Energy Adventure themed episode. Nice. Yep.
It's right over Vinny's face almost.
Good. No one wants to see his face.
No.
That's actually why I fired him. I actually blocked him on Skype. He's not actually. I didn't actually.
So he's actually online, but you're just like, oh no, he's not here because you blocked him.
Shh, dude, shut up.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Next tweet is from. Well, the next tweet I'm gonna read is from Z Mark Anthony at ProcrastPix, everyone's favorite reaction channel. You know him, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And it's a link to our channel. Shout out to these two weenies for making a good podcast series. Hashtag GAOP. Thanks, Z Mark Anthony. You should come on the podcast sometime. As in 2 weeks from now, maybe?
That'd be fun.
Hinting at the future. I believe that's called foreshadowing.
That is called foreshadowing.
Another one from at AwesomeBoy1996. Oh, he's my favorite Awesome Boy. Way better than Awesome Boy 2002. Man, I hate that guy.
I know 2002 is so
It's the worst year.
like 14 years ago, or is it really 14?
Oh
Yeah,
my
I guess
god,
it
that's
is.
crazy. What the heck?
That's really weird.
All right, and hashtag GAOP. Whatever happened to Oliver Duck? He died.
He died, as in he is no longer on the internet. He didn't die
Yeah,
in real
he didn't
life.
actually die.
We
He's.
should clarify
I
that.
think he just went out on a really long snowmobile trip. I think he's still snowmobiling. He'll probably finish snowmobiling eventually, but right now he's still out there.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, does the snow even melt in Canada in the summer?
I don't know. We should get Eric in this episode and ask him.
Okay. Canadian Thoughts by Eric. And he tells us everything that's wrong with all the stereotypes of Canada.
Damn, we should bring him. We should bring back community radio and just have that as Eric's show.
Yeah. His little segment here and there.
Canadian thoughts. Oh man. All right, the last one comes from Rick at etophat67. This was actually before the last two ones, but screw it, it's out of order because I'm a rebel. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm a legend. I'm a rebel, legendary rebel. Hashtag GAOP question: if you could write a Thomas special, what would it be called and what would it be about? It's a good question, dog. Keekray. Because I don't have any ideas right now. What would yours be about?
Well, thanks for throwing that on me.
You're welcome.
Let's see. If I could write a Thomas special, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to think about that because I'm always thinking of ideas from my series. And like, I guess I instinctively want to say like, I'd want to use one of the ideas that I have for my series as, like if I were to do a special because I've already thought through things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Like I have like, the main idea of what I want to do. So honestly, I want to see a special that focuses exclusively on like the narrow gauge engines. I think we've seen enough of Thomas and like all of the hundreds of new characters that are introduced in each special. So I would like to see a narrow gauge special, maybe revolving around. Okay, I just thought of this. Let's do a narrow gauge special. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Anyway, let's do a narrow gauge special where Ivo Hugh comes to the railway, and now there's two number 7 engines because Fearless Freddy's already there, but I don't think we've seen Fearless Freddy in CGI.
No, we haven't seen him in forever.
No. So, well, like in that case, maybe Ivo Hugh and Fearless Freddy come to the island at the exact same time, like from different railways, and they both have the number 7, and then it's like a conflict of like who's going to change their number or something, and then like heavy breathing.
Sorry, I'm getting excited over this pitch.
I just think of the meme with the cat where he's like looking up at the star or whatever, like with the light that says like heavy breathing.
Yeah. There's nothing better than describing a visual meme on an audio podcast.
Yeah, that probably didn't make any sense.
It's like a cat just like looking up at a star and it says like heavy breathing.
Yeah. And if you don't know what it looks like, you should Google it. Otherwise, we sound like complete dorks. But anyway, so that would be my idea. Maybe since we have like two number 7s, maybe like Fearless Freddy can go talk to Toby in part of the movie because then it's cool because it's like both of the number 7 engines are together. And then maybe Ivo Hugh can go talk to Oliver and he's like, how do you deal with having another like excavator or just friend whose name is the same as you? And then I'm sure there's a moral in there somewhere, but
Tam, can we just have you on like every week? Can I actually replace you with? Can I replace Vince with you?
I would not mind doing this every week, honestly, but I think your, permanent co-host wouldn't like that.
You know what?
Very much,
Whatever.
but
It's all good.
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. We're only like 10 minutes in, aren't we? So we have like a long way to go.
Oh well,
I could really mess this up in like the next 30 minutes or so, and maybe by the end you're like, yeah, this was nice and all, but
by the way, I turned off the recording like 10 minutes ago, went to go get some chips, I just got bored,
etc., etc. I don't really know what you were saying half the time.
All right,
That.
time for my pitch.
Okay, so what is your idea?
Okay, so this is actually from an episode of Thomas Battles that was never uploaded. Thomas Battles was my show on community radio, where I was a contestant and someone else was the host. I think it was Eric. And one of the things was pitch your own Thomas movie. So I have the perfect thing for this.
Oh, there you go. You're all ready then.
So those of you, I'm going to start this off, preface this by saying, those of you who don't know, The Rock is my favorite actor working right now. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's great.
Mm,
Diesel 10 is my favorite Thomas and Friends character.
mm.
So this movie is called.
I thought it was the Diesel 261.
Okay, it used to be, all right, but not anymore.
Okay, continue.
So it's called 10 out of 10 in kicking butt. Diesel 10 is voiced by The Rock. Okay. So it starts off splatter and dodge. I'm gonna get real close to the microphone. This is intense pitch. Splatter and dodge are being taken away by the steam engines to be scrapped, to be punished for their crimes in Thomas and the Magic Railroad. And then all of a sudden, bam! We cut to somewhere else on the island. I don't know, some crappy bar, which also has tracks inside of it to let the engines in. You know, when they have a rough day. You know, when Thomas lets the troubles and tricks get the better of him. It's okay, Thomas. Here, have a beer. You'll be fine. So Diesel 10 rolls in. There, sitting at the bar, is the only patron of the bar, P.T. Boomer. He has become an alcoholic, drunken mess after being cut from Thomas and the Magic Railroad. He says to Diesel 10, "This was going to be my big break. I was going to make it in Hollywood." Wait, actually, this is going to be made in Canada. So, I was going to make it in Vancouver.
Yeah.
I was going to make it. This is going to be my big break. I could have starred in so many movies with that Robert McGee guy. It would have been great. But I was cut from the movie, and it was just my career failed. Diesel 10 says, "Boomer, you can become a star." And of course, he's voiced by The Rock, so you got to imagine The Rock saying this. "Boomer, you can become a star again if you help me in this crazy madcap adventure." But Boomer is too drunk, and he passes out. So basically, Diesel 10 can't recruit him. He's passed out. So Diesel 10 goes after them, goes after Splatter and Dodge onto Sodor alone. He doesn't have P.T. Boomer with him. Whoa, I'm sorry, I just half burped there. He has to go by himself to save them. So he tears a path of destruction throughout Sodor with his claw, Pinchy, who is voiced by Tyrese, because he's the comic relief in the Fast and Furious movies. So why not be the comic relief in these
No,
ones?
honestly, I was thinking of him before you even said it. I was like, who would be a really funny guy that's not really talented, but he'd still work. And I was thinking exactly of that guy. So there you go. Nice.
So Pinchy's voiced by Tyrese. He and Diesel 10 have several just witty repartee back and forth. But at the end of it, Diesel 10 finds out that Burnett Stone and Mr. Conductor have been behind this whole situation. They're the ones trying to scrap Splatter and Dodge. And they have Diesel 10 on the ropes at the end, but he managed to make a comeback, and with the help of Pinchy, he shoves them into the smelting pit that they were about to shove Splatter and Dodge in. Okay?
Like the one from the movie that James almost falls into?
Yeah, the one that's just randomly open for some reason.
Yeah. That's really dangerous and would probably violate a ton of health and safety regulations, I'm guessing.
Yep. But then Thomas, their main enforcer, goes after them as revenge. So Diesel 10, Splatter and Dodge, and Pinchy, of course, can't forget Tyrese, are on the run. Okay, who would Splatter and Dodge be voiced by? I think Splatter would be voiced by Ludacris, because he's from Furious, too.
Yeah.
And Dodge... I feel like Dodge would also be voiced by Ludacris. They'd have the same voice actor. It'd be real confusing, but Ludacris would make it work.
But he would be credited in the credits. He would be credited separately, so
He'd be credited as his real name.
Yeah.
What the hell is Ludacris's real name?
I don't.
Okay, so Splatter, Ludacris, Dodge, Christopher Bridges. There we go. Did it.
That's really his real name?
Yeah.
I see why he goes by Ludacris.
It's such a white person name.
Yeah.
Hey, Christopher, how you doing today, buddy?
Hey, Chris Bridges, how you doing?
This is a good pitch. All right. So, The Rock Ludicrous times 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ludicrous, but like instead of the S, it's like a 2. It's like a backwards 2 in his name.
Yeah.
So Diesel 10, Tyrese, so The Rock, Tyrese, and Ludacris 2 are being chased by Thomas, who's voiced by, I don't know, Jason Statham, because he was the villain in the new Fast movie. Is chasing these. I don't know. I might just be saying all these ideas because I watched Fury 7 again today.
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds like Fast and Furious 7, but just with trains.
You know what?
You're even employing the same cast at this point. Like,
I mean, it's The
like
Rock. Why not?
where does Vin Diesel pop up? You know, is like what's he gonna play in this movie?
Wait for it. Wait for it. That's a spoiler.
Okay, sorry.
All right. So Thomas is chasing Diesel 10 and the crew. And then he eventually catches Splatter and Dodge, make it off the crumbling viaduct because, of course, you got to have a crumbling viaduct.
Mm-hmm.
But Thomas and Diesel 10 are trapped on the viaduct. Thomas manages to push Diesel 10 off the viaduct again at the end. However, Diesel 10 uses his claw to pull Thomas off with him. Both of them fall through the air. It's a super dramatic moment. Thomas falls into the water and drowns, shouting, "I'll get you soon, Diesel 10. I'll come back stronger than ever, and I'll get you." But does Diesel 10 land in the water, drown? Nah. Guess who it is? It's P.T. Boomer. He showed up at the last moment in Bulstrode, voiced by Vin Diesel.
Oh.
He catches Diesel 10 in Bulstrode the barge. He came around at the last minute and saves Diesel 10's life. So Diesel 10, Splatter, Dodge, and Boomer then take up and wow. Let me restart that one. Diesel 10, Splatter, Dodge, and Boomer team up and take over Sodor. Aw, yeah.
That's the whole thing?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the movie. I also have a few taglines.
Oh, well, let's hear them.
Steamies will be awed before they get clawed.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Steamies will get odd before they get even. I like yours better, though.
Odd as in AWED.
Oh, I was ODD.
Oh, okay.
And I was like...
I mean, the movie will get odd, too, so...
Okay. I see.
Another tagline. He's clawed his way to the top.
I like that, yeah.
Another tagline. He's breaking the claw. And the last tagline. Finally, The Rock has come back to the island. Even though he was never there in the first place. But hey, that's The Rock's catchphrase from WWE.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Finally, The Rock has come back to WrestleMania. Or something like that.
Oh.
I don't know. Ask Percy number 6. He's the wrestling guy.
Yeah, I was going to say we should probably ask him because he'd know all about that.
Probably. Man, remember, that dude was like super into wrestling. I remember, I think I told him a couple of years ago that wrestling was fake. I was like, you do know wrestling was fake, right? And he's like, no, it's not. It's real.
Oh.
He got like real upset at me.
Well, like WWE is fake.
Yeah.
Is that what you were talking about?
That's what he was a fan of. Yeah.
Okay, because I know like boxing and other stuff that. Oh, sorry. I think my mic cut out. What was I saying?
Something about how boxing is real.
Oh, yeah. Like, anyway, that was I'll just leave it at that. Sorry. That was weird. My mic cut out, and I was like, what?
Oh, yeah, you just kind of stopped talking.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, maybe you should have Percy on the show and debate whether is wrestling real or not.
It'll just be like, well, I mean, now he knows that WWE isn't real, so it'll just be like, hey, Percy number 6, is WWE real? Nope, me neither. Great, see you next week.
And that's it?
That's it.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know if he still thought it or not, but...
Alrighty. I wanted to move on to something else.
Well, before you do, I guess I should say I really like that idea. And your taglines are awesome.
Thank you, sir.
By the way.
I'm going to ask Vince this next week, and I'll ask if he has any ideas for this. And I might ask our special guest who's going to be on next week if they have any ideas, huh? Because, spoiler, we're going to have a very special guest on the podcast next week. It's going to be very, very fun. I just spoke to him today. He's very excited to come on.
Even more special than me?
More special than you.
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. He's one of the most successful members of the Thomas Wooden Railway. or Thomas Wooden community, excuse me. I'll tell you guys at the end of the episode. I'll remind if I don't.
Is it Enterprising Engine 93?
It's not Enterprising, although I do want him on the podcast.
Is it Turtles and Thomas?
It is not Turtles and Thomas.
Is it Robert McGee?
Keekray, I'm not going to tell you.
Is it Robert McGee?
All right, you know what?
Guys, it's Robert McGee.
No, it's not Robert. We already
don't have to wait till the end of the episode. I'm just going to tell you here right now. MPS told me before the call that Wooden Railway Reviews is going to be on next week.
Dude, you're going off script here.
And so I don't have a script, okay?
Oh, well, maybe
I
that's
can't
the
go
issue,
off
then.
script if I don't have a script.
No, it's not Robert McGee. I'll give you a couple more guesses.
It's not, though. MPS really didn't tell me that.
Yeah, it's not Robert.
No.
We already had him on the podcast.
I know. I was like, you're bringing him back like this quick? Like, I didn't know things were that bad on the Grease and Oil podcast.
Hey, man, listen. It's not a big thing. Don't worry about it, baby. All right, you can keep guessing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just keep guessing until you get the answer. It's one of the most successful members of the community. Probably, I'd say the most. Wait, hold on. Do you have more subscribers or does he have more subscribers? I don't know. Here, allow me to check. You keep guessing.
Of the Thomas Wooden Railway community or just the Thomas?
Yeah, the Thomas Wooden Railway community.
Is it Jay Louvier?
Hey, there we go.
Nice. I guess,
guys,
I should have thought of that. Yeah.
Next week we have Jay Louvier, the one and only, coming on the podcast. I'm very excited.
So now you guys can click away because it's not going to be a surprise at the end anymore.
Just click away to next week's episode.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to get to a thing that I've heard about for a while, and I wanted to do, but it's a game, a segment that I wanted to play on this podcast. It's called Flip the Premise. It's a movie-themed game, so if you have not seen a lot of movies, then you might want to click away. But so this is a game where basically it's like the title suggests. You flip the premise of a movie, a popular movie, so that you make the villain of the film the hero, and you make the hero of the film the villain. And you sort of twist things around so that it's hard to tell what movie it actually is. All right?
Okay.
So the idea is you tell it to somebody, and then they guess at the end of your pitch.
Okay.
Right? So here, I'll give you an example. This is from someone on the internet. All right? This isn't from me. This I found on the internet. All right? This old man has just gotten back a kid he raised after the kid's dad died. The old man works for this kid's tech company that specializes in producing and selling weapons. But now, the old man's boss, the kid, doesn't want to do that anymore. Now, this old man's life's work is being undone. He steals the last weapon made by the company for sale to actually have a meaning in his life. But the old man's boss finds out and kills the old man, revealing the boss has been the recent terrorizing vigilante that has appeared throughout the city. The boss is this kid, and he has betrayed the old man and basically just become a total outside of bounds vigilante. He's just an arrogant kid with a fancy suit. What movie am I describing?
Batman?
Nope.
Really?
It's Iron Man.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
The old man's Obadiah Stane.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
The kid is... See, that's just like a fun game to play. I have another one that I found online, and it's really, really good. Hold on. This one... I didn't come up with this one myself. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
A couple of ex-high school basketball players in a bad neighborhood all pitch in to fix up the school's court. Once finally finished, the guys attempt to use it to train to become basketball stars. But a rival player claims the territory as his own. A huge, big, brawl-out fight ensues. Disgracing the guys, the rival escapes. When the guys try to track him down and seek their revenge, I mean, they were just minding their own business. But they try and track this kid down and seek his revenge. They find that this kid, this coward, has fled to the town of Bel Air to plot his revenge. That one's so good.
Yeah, that's really good.
That one's really good. So basically, it's like a flip-flop. You make the villain of the movie another half burp.
Did you eat some like Kung Pao chicken
I
before
don't know
this?
what happened. I had Subway. That was about it. But I had so you make the villain of the movie the hero, and the hero of the movie the villain. It's a fun game to play, really. So I think I want to be doing it. I want to find a different one of these every week and play it on the podcast. So next week I'll play it with Vince. I'll explain it with Vince before we start recording, and then I'll explain it, and then I'll play it with him. And I think that'll just be a fun game to play. And I want to make this sort of a recurring segment on the podcast. Maybe not every week, maybe every other week. I don't really know. But I think that'll be fun. Have you ever played anything like that?
No, I haven't. I was gonna say it's not something you can think of like on the spot. Like you do need to
Right.
do some research for sure,
Yeah.
because it's really hard in your mind to be like to try to flip the hero and the villain like in your head, like we're talking right now, and have it make
Yeah.
any sense whatsoever. So,
Right. It's a fun way to practice story, and plot and pitching
mhm.
things. It's just a fun way to do things. Like I have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of them that I've collected from YouTube. I have, well, I don't want to talk about them because I'll give them away. But I have
Okay.
very popular. I have ones for popular movies. I'm not gonna just draw some random freaking obscure ass movie that's just gonna freaking nobody's gonna understand. Because I don't watch those movies. I don't watch that shit. I don't watch that shit. I only watch the big budget shit.
You only watch the movies that everybody else watches?
I only watch the movies with The Rock in them.
Oh, so you like Tooth Fairy?
I said I only watch the movies with The Rock in them. I said I don't. Well, I said I don't watch all the movies with The Rock in them.
So you like the Game Plan?
What is
You
that?
never heard of that?
Never heard of it in my life.
It's a Disney movie with
I have to Google this right now. Let's see. Buena Vista Pictures. Oh, 44% on Metacritic.
mhm.
Good. Directed by Andy Fickman. Man, you change a letter in that name. It's one letter away from Flickman, which would be a great directorial name. Also, I'd like to point out that it was edited by a guy named Michael Jablow. And it was the music was by a guy named Nathan Wang. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, good to know.
Yeah, not.
Well, anyway, the reason I brought it up is because one, Dwayne Johnson is in it, but in two, since it's a Disney movie, at the very end, like I can't remember exactly. I think Dwayne Johnson's team win. I think they win the Super Bowl. And at the end, there's like this really touching but corny moment where like he runs out and like grabs his daughter that he was reunited with during the movie. And then a reporter comes up and they're like, "What are you gonna do now that you won the Super Bowl?" And then he's like, "I'm going to Disney World." But it's like so cheesy because it's a movie made by Disney.
Yeah.
I just remember that, like, I haven't seen that movie in a really, really, really long time, obviously many years ago. And I just remember how cheesy it was back then. And thinking of it now, I'm like, I almost like cringe thinking about it because I'm like, ooh, like, I know this is a feel-good movie, but it's making me feel too good, almost.
Yeah.
You know?
What's your favorite The Rock movie?
Um, I would have to say. I mean, I really like the Fast and Furious movies, but I'm
Yeah.
sure there has to be a better movie featuring him than just the Fast and the Furious. Because like, even though he's main cast, he's not like the main. You know, he's not the main star of the Fast and
Yeah,
Furious.
totally.
Like,
It's Vin Diesel in the cars.
yeah, like he is he's heavy supporting, and obviously when they advertise the movie, they're going to include him in it because they know people such as MPS are just going to see the movie just because it features The Rock's massive biceps and triceps and all that good stuff that he likes.
Dude, stop! You're getting
So,
hot and bothered.
um I'm just trying to think of I mean
Get Smart.
he
My favorite The Rock movie
oh
is
yeah,
Get Smart.
he is in that. Yeah. But at the same time, he's not like the main character. Once again, he's heavy supporting, which
Spoiler alert: he's the villain.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, like I've seen it. I'm just mad that somebody probably hasn't seen that, and
Whatever, bro. The movie's like from 2008.
yeah,
That's their
it's true.
problem.
Like, but
8 years old.
the thing is Dwayne
Oh my
Johnson.
God, 2008 was 8 years ago.
I know, isn't that crazy? It gets worse and worse. Like, obviously, that made a
Jesus.
lot of sense, didn't it? Anyway, um, I mean, for the most part, Dwayne Johnson really hasn't acted in a whole ton of movies, you know?
Welcome back to the Dwayne the Rock Johnson
Yeah,
podcast.
we get too obsessed. Oh, you know what he was in? He was in The Other Guys. Remember? Did you ever see that?
Yes, I did. He's in it with Samuel L.
Yeah,
Jackson for like 5 minutes,
yeah,
but it's the best that they jump off a roof together.
yeah. It is. He's literally in. Isn't it like the first 5 minutes too?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like he shouldn't even be credited with that.
I swear to God, The Other Guys is the movie that solidified my love for The Rock.
Even though he was
I
only
don't know
in it for
why.
like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Did you hear that he doesn't actually want to be called The Rock anymore? He wants to separate himself from his wrestling career and he wants to be called Dwayne Johnson instead.
Well, I mean, I mean, it makes sense to me.
I'm still gonna call him The Rock, but yeah,
Like,
it makes sense.
yeah, like he probably doesn't want to be credited in his movies. Like after a movie's done and the credits start rolling, he doesn't want it to say The Rock, you know?
I know, but I mean, he wants people just to call him in general The Rock,
Like
or sorry, Dwayne Johnson. Excuse me,
whoever the Tyrese guy, what's his real name is?
Tyrese Gibson.
Oh wait, no,
Oh no,
Ludacris,
Ludacris.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Something
Christopher
yeah,
Bridges.
Christopher Bridges. Yep.
I mean, to be honest, Dwayne Johnson is a more respectable name than Christopher
Yeah,
Bridges.
Dwayne Johnson is a very strong name.
Although he is, although he still is at The Rock on Twitter. So,
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. He's like, "Don't call me this," but you have to.
have you seen Central Intelligence?
I have not. Didn't that just like come out? Like,
It just came out, and I saw it a while ago with one of my friends, and it's really
it
good.
is good.
Yeah,
All right. Oh, you know what Dwayne Johnson was in? He was in San Andreas,
yeah,
but
he was.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't real good, but I mean, I also heard Furious wasn't that good, but I still watched it and I loved it.
Well, the Fast and Furious movies aren't really good movies. They're more like,
Yeah,
you know, us guys going in there and like oohing and ahhing over the cars and explosions for 2 hours. But
I had this exact same discussion with one of my friends at dinner.
no, I mean it's true because like you watch the movies and like the plots are almost like laughably outrageous and stuff.
Totally.
Like the
I mean,
last
in Furious 7, they drop a bunch of planes out of a prison and or what the hell am I talking about? They drop a bunch of wow. I was so I.
they drop they
I'm
drop
gonna go right now.
cars, they drop cars out
I'm
of a
gonna
plane.
go take a sip right now. Yeah, they drop a bunch of cars out of a plane with parachutes attached to them, and then the parachutes allow the cars to land perfectly on the ground and instantly start moving.
And they're
Like
right next to they're immediately right next to
right next to the bad
yeah.
guys. Drop a bunch of planes in a prison.
Coincidence?
Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I'm real bad at this. I've been listening for a while. I've been re-listening to some of the old podcasts, and I realized this is the absolute worst Thomas-themed
Because
podcast
we don't
in
talk
the
about Thomas.
history of Thomas. Me and Vinny barely ever talk about Thomas. Like in this episode, we spent more time talking about goddamn The Rock than we have talking about Thomas and Friends.
Yeah.
I feel like I should just call this episode The Rock featuring Thomas Wooden Railway
Yeah.
or something like that.
The Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson hour.
Yeah, oohing and awing for 45 minutes, and then like we'll throw some Thomas in there, here and there. We promise.
Okay, I need your opinion on something.
All right.
So I want to call the episodes where you have guests on. I want to call them Guests in Oil. Vinny thinks it's a really dumb name, but I think it's a great name. What do you think?
Like guests in
Guests and Oil.
oh, and oil.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest
Ugh.
because it's just
Ugh.
okay. Like I can see like grease and oil, guests and oil, but I could say like giraffes and oil, and it still makes sense, you know, if you're doing alliteration or not alliteration, but
Okay, you're right.
but it's
but
like G and G. Guests and oil gives me a really bad picture from a movie called Quantum of Solace,
uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
which is a James Bond movie, by the way.
Let's start talking about James Bond, man. I love James Bond.
Yes, for those who don't know, I love James Bond as well. It's actually if I had to pick a movie series that I like the most, I would say James Bond for sure.
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No, although it is a really good time to be fans of superheroes because there's literally like a superhero movie coming out like every 2 months at this point.
Damn right. No, my favorite is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I do love the James Bond movies. In fact, I'm releasing a video coming soon of my top 10 favorite James Bond songs. Find that on my channel. What's your favorite James Bond song, Kate?
Wait, like on your like Mr. MPS channel?
Yeah.
Is it like a? It's not just like a Windows Movie Maker like
No,
here are my
okay.
10.
It'll be like me talking about
Like
it.
a,
It'll
just
be a
like
review.
you back him up.
Yeah, it'll be an analytical thing.
Okay, that makes sense. I was thinking of like
Yeah.
my top
No.
10 like favorite James Bond songs, and then like you include the songs, so you're gonna
My
get
top 10 favorite James Bond thongs.
songs. Yes.
Excuse me. My favorite James Bond thong is the one that he wore in You Only Live Twice. I love that
Oh
one.
yeah, with the short shorts.
And the Asian makeup.
Oh yeah, that was
Man, I love James Bond. For those of you who aren't for sure that I love James Bond, I'm currently wearing a Spectre ring as I am recording this that I never take off except for when I sleep and take a shower.
that's really creepy. And
Dude, it's such a good ring.
yeah, but I I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Also I take it off when I have the sexes because I have much of those.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yes,
No, I
yes I
doubt you
do.
even take it off when you sleep and shower. Like it's probably like stuck to your face. Like
Like smells real
yeah,
bad.
like if you tried to like pull it off, you'd end up pulling up like a ton of dead skin underneath.
There's like a crusting of slime
Yeah,
around it.
yeah,
Ew.
exactly. Like you need to take like
Hey, wait a minute. There's only 7 tentacles on this octopus.
yeah,
What the heck? Were there only 7 tentacles in the movie?
yeah. They
What the hell is up with
they
that?
mention it, I think.
That's so dumb.
It makes
Why
you
the heck
think
are there only 7 tentacles?
because I think the eighth one is technically the head, you know?
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
Well, I mean, that's all movies are about like imagery and symbolism and the word you used earlier in the podcast, foreshadowing.
It's foreshadowing.
Yes,
For those of you who don't know, foreshadowing means hinting at something that will happen later on in the movie
that is true.
or the series. Because, everything's got to be a franchise now.
It's true.
Can't just have one new Jurassic Park movie. Although I don't even care because Jurassic World was amazing.
I never saw it.
Oh man, it was like Fast and Furious 7. It was such a dumb movie and it was so
It's
great.
just it's like you pass the point of like reality and you're just like, you know what? I'm just going
Like
to
the
enjoy
ending of
it.
Yeah, the ending of the movie is a four-way dinosaur battle between a T-Rex, a raptor, a Mosasaurus, and a brand new created dinosaur that's like a fusion of T-Rexes and raptors. It's amazing. The T-Rex makes its way onto its scene by bursting through another dinosaur skeleton and roaring really loud. It's amazing.
That sounds like a lot of CGI.
And the T-Rex gives a piggyback ride to the raptor so that it can jump onto the genetically modified dinosaur's head. It's so good.
Okay, your definition and my definition of good is way different than
It's amazing.
because that sounds
It's
like
so
something
awesome.
Michael Bay would do.
No, dude, it's like Michael Bay but good.
Oh, I didn't even know that
It's
was possible.
it's so great.
Okay, well, anyway, that's your 100 reasons why you should see Jurassic World by MPS.
We were also talking about James Bond, weren't
We
we?
were, yeah.
What's your favorite James Bond song?
I would have to say there's a lot of good ones. For those who don't know, there's like in the first like 5 or 10 minutes of each James Bond movie, there's like an opening scene, of course, but then it cuts to like the old style of credits that used to come like before the end of the movie. And so they always play a theme song during that. And so the song,
Composed by someone who's hot at the
yeah,
time.
pretty much like you can go through and look at a list of all the songs
Like you've got people from Paul McCartney to Duran
to
Duran
Madonna.
to Madonna, yeah, to Adele.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, no, that's a really good way to put it. Basically, whoever's like really popular at the time ends up doing the theme song, which is really cool because you can go back and look through the list and you're like, oh, this, band or person at the time was really popular and really successful. So successful, in fact, that they were hired to do the theme song.
Do you know? I think you probably know this, considering how big of a Bond fan you are. But did you know that Duran Duran got their gig by going up to the Bond producers at a party and asking, "So when are you gonna hire someone who's actually good
Did they
to make a Bond
did they
theme?"
really say that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did a good job. I would have to say
Bam, ch, bam, 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 ch, bam, bam, bam,
I would have to
bam.
say that's not my favorite, but it's like my top five.
The opening like 10 seconds of that song just get you so pumped up. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, it's hard to pick just one. I mean, Skyfall by Adele was really
Skyfall,
good.
my favorite.
Oh, there you go.
Spoiler alert.
Um, man, like,
Yeah, there's been a lot of good ones, like Skyfall and You Know My Name by
yeah,
Chris Cornell. But there's also some bad ones, like the Quantum of Solace
yeah.
one, which is just like a collection of noises. I don't think it's even actually a
No,
song.
there's like no rhythm, and I don't know. It's by
Jack
Jack
White and
White.
Alicia.
Yeah.
Whoever thought to team up Jack White and Alicia Keys?
I don't know. Like, there are some parts of the song that are catchy, but overall, Matt is right. It's literally just like a bunch of noises, and they kind of sound good sometimes, but mostly they don't, and they called it a Bond theme song.
I don't know how it
So,
got past.
I mean, well, to answer, I still want to answer your question. Probably my favorite theme song. Um, Off the top of my head, I do want to say "Live and Let Die" by Paul McCartney.
Yep. Yep, that one's real
But
good.
Adele is up there. Duran Duran is up there. You Know My Name is up there.
Yeah.
There was even like GoldenEye or like Diamonds Are Forever
GoldenEye's real
or
good.
even Goldfinger. Like they're not like they don't
Okay, so
stand out as much, but they're still good,
I have a story
All right.
about Goldfinger. So I used to have um the only three Bond songs that I have on my phone that I listen to are You Know My Name, Skyfall, and what oh and Live and Let Die. My brain just
Yeah.
um definitely no Sam Smith on
No,
there.
me neither.
Even though I'd gotten to like that song a lot more. I hated that song when it first came out, but I've actually grown to like it a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when matched up with the opening credits. It's
No,
really
you're right.
good.
Like I actually didn't listen to the opening song of the new James Bond movie until I heard it in theaters. Like I didn't listen to it before it came out. And so when I
Hmm.
saw it with the credits, I actually thought it was pretty decent. It's not the best one, but it's
Right.
weird if you listen to it on its own, it's weird. Like it sounds like a really depressing, I mean, which I guess it's supposed to be, but the opening credits make it really, really good, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And kind of by itself, it's just like, nah, like,
All right.
okay,
I'm gonna continue with story time with Mips.
okay.
So I used to have Goldfinger on my phone. And
Goldfinger.
okay, no, the thing about that song is the opening is so loud. They got those damn horns
Oh,
in there. It's
yeah.
like bwam, bwam, like right in your ear, and it like makes you like die a little bit inside. So I was taking a test and
Oh.
I had my music in, and the previous song was real soft, so I had to turn the volume up, and then so the volume was real loud on my phone, and I'm in the middle of this test trying to focus, and then Goldfinger, those opening horns in Goldfinger started coming into my ears about two times the highest volume you can ever imagine ever, and I almost destroyed something.
Do you like wince in pain and like throw your
I would
headphones off?
I had to like turn off my phone, take off my headphones, and just sit there for a second, like in the middle of my test, and people were just like looking at me, and I was just like, I'm good, just give me a second. And it was rough because I had to take Goldfinger off my phone after that. It was just not good. It just scared me. Or like every time I'd have my music on Rando Calrissian, Marlon Rando. Every time I had my music on Rando, I would like look and see what song was next, and I'd see it was Goldfinger, and I'd like quickly hit the next button so I wouldn't have to hear those horns. Except sometimes I'd be too slow and they'd play anyways, my ears would start bleeding.
It's-
So I just decided to take
It
Goldfinger off my
sounds like
phone.
you're getting bullied by a song. Like it's like telling you what to do. Like, no, you can't take this test. Listen to me.
Listen to me. I mean, this it's a good song. It's like one of my favorites, but it's so loud and distracting. And, oh, I don't. Oh, it's scary.
I think you just shouldn't listen to it for a long time, and hopefully those bad memories won't be associated with whatever the heck happened to you during that test.
I'll be like on my deathbed, and then I'll be like, does he have any last words? Quick, get me Goldfinger, and then I'll like die, and then someone will play it, and then the noise will like scare me back to life. Like, duh! You start flailing in my hospital bed. He's alive.
Oh wait, no, he's not.
No, no, just for a second though. Oh
Oh look,
man.
it's Jack White and Alicia Keys. Oh, now he's really dead.
Oh
Oh
no,
God.
his body's
Yeah.
decomposing in the bed.
Oh man.
Speaking of death, what would you say is an age you're comfortable dying at? Like, I've decided that I'm comfortable dying like my late 80s.
That's
Because then you don't have to. Because hopefully, because I like try and eat well, exercise and stuff like that. Hopefully, I won't be stuck in a nursing home and
you
have to.
try and eat well. I
Yeah,
think your Mountain of Baja Blast says otherwise.
that's drinking, okay?
Well, it's all goes to the same place.
Whatever. I eat a lot of vegetables, okay?
Yeah.
I just eat cabbage. Just
No, you
straight
don't.
from the thing. I just Hey, you would be surprised,
You eat
man.
Kung Pao chicken. As
I
I,
just got I just got a message from my boy Vince. We got to record tomorrow.
ooh, that's awkward.
Ooh.
Text him back and say, see, funny thing,
See, funny thing, kind of right in the
or
middle of
you
recording.
should call him and let's listen to his reaction when he flips his lid.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you think he'll pick up?
I think you will.
Oh, I hear it.
All right, you ready for this? This is live on the air.
This is unscripted, everybody.
Okay, if he doesn't pick up, then I want to play you guys his voicemail because he has the best voicemail I've ever heard in my entire life. Just be quiet. Shh, wait for it. Shh, shh, shh.
Hello?
Oh, hey, it's you.
Yes?
So,
Hello? Yes?
so funny thing, you wanted to record tomorrow. I'm actually in the middle of recording right now with Geekray.
Oh. Okay.
You've been replaced, dog.
Did you hear just like his voice just drop?
All right.
You upset, dog?
Bye.
Vinny, I love you. No.
I think I upset him.
Oh.
I think he's mad at
Yeah,
me.
you're gonna have to do some serious damage control with that.
Whatever. It's all good. I'll just replace him with you.
Okay.
You're better. We have better taste in movies.
This is actually my audition to replace Vinny, if you guys couldn't tell by that. And I think
mean-
we're getting along pretty good. The synergy and other cool words are flowing real nice, and yeah.
the James Bond love.
Oh yeah. Man, we could literally do 24 podcasts in a row where each time we talk about a different James Bond movie, and I would be completely happy, honestly.
I thought you meant like 24 different like separate podcast like series.
Yes, that's what I mean.
So like one podcast series about Dr. No, one podcast series about Goldfinger.
Yes.
Like just, I think we could do.
I mean, we're not obviously not the first people ever to do that, but if we had nothing to talk about, we could
We could do
spend
we could do one podcast series about The Rock,
yeah.
one podcast series about James Bond, and one podcast series about Thomas and Friends.
Oh yeah, which we're supposed to actually be doing right now, aren't we?
Again, worst Thomas podcast ever. We were going to talk about what age you're comfortable dying at. What age are you comfortable dying at, Kikri? I'm like comfortable in my mid late 80s because I mean then you're sort of like not like right before you like go into a nursing home and start like coughing up blood and stuff like that. Sort of right before all the real gross stuff happens, where like you need the adult diapers and things like that.
Well, you make a very convincing point there. For me, I mean, honestly, I think anything above 80 is generous. I mean, you hear stories all the time of like people in their 50s and 60s just like dropping dead. And you're like,
Yeah.
what? So I'd have to probably agree with you. Like if I made it to 80, you know, like I think that would be good. I'd have a big birthday party, and hopefully my dentures wouldn't fall out.
I,
Yeah.
I I'd be hosting
Oh
it.
yeah,
We still need to make TWR con a thing.
we do.
That'd be
So
great.
for those who don't know, I don't know how it started, but we got on the idea one time of doing like Comic-Con, but like with all the Thomas Wooden Railway people, and it would be really cool. But
We'd all have like our own separate booths.
yeah,
I would give out free samples of Baja
of
Blast.
course you would.
Turtles would be huddled in a corner in a shadow away from everybody else.
Hmm.
You would be wearing a Tom Cruise
I
mask.
would actually, yeah.
Um, Ted would be giving out samples of maple syrup while waving a Canadian flag on a snowmobile.
He and Eric would probably tag team.
He and Eric would tag team, although they'd also be giving out like little mini TARDISes.
Oh,
What's the plural of TARDIS? TARDI?
yeah, TARDIS. Well, like a tard.
TARDI. Hey, what your language?
Would you call me? Look at all those tardai over there. You can't say
Whoa,
that.
dog, that's way too far. Yeah. Enterprising would be Enterprising would be the only booth outside.
Yeah, no, literally, like we'd rent out like a convention center or something, and he would literally have his booth outside.
Like, you can come outside. No, man, I gotta be artsy.
Oh, it's gonna be artsy. The lighting here is perfect.
Everybody would be like, Enterprising's booth is way better than all you other guys. Even though Enterprising's booth is the only booth we visited,
It's better, yeah.
Man, if you guys get that reference, man, throwback to like 2012.
Yeah, that was
rough.
who was that?
It was Coley
Oh yeah,
on the Sudrian Radio podcast, another podcast.
I know podcasts are really fun. I mean, when I was supposed to be a part of Thomas Wooden Railway Community Radio, I was going to do a podcast essentially.
Yeah.
Like I still have like all my ideas written down that I wanted to do, but I obviously never got there. So
You should start a separate podcast with me. We should make a whole separate channel. We should meet up and just do like the same video that Vinny and I did, except with you in his place.
I mean, I'd be up for that.
Let me think. Who else? What would Robert have? Robert would like just be going on really long rants about things that nobody really particularly cares about, but doesn't want to like interject for fear of offending him.
I think.
Oh man, he's gonna get real mad at me. For
No,
saying that.
I think Rob, he would have a table, but it would be very disorganized. He'd have some wooden, he'd have some Ertl, he'd have some Hornby, but it wouldn't be very like professional at all. It'd just be kind of like scattered. Like he just showed up and he just like threw his stuff down on the table and he was like, "Here I am." And honestly, he would probably go around and make fun of all the other booths. But since we love him, we'd be like, "Yeah, my booth sucks. It's okay."
Even though some of the jokes are kind of mean spirited.
Well, I mean, they're entertaining.
Yeah, they're entertaining at least. Also, he'd be making artsy films of the thing too.
Yeah.
At the convention center.
Mhm.
And he'd have Roy Wilson come in as a special guest every once in a while.
Roy Wilson would be the keynote speaker, I believe.
Let me think. Vinny, he would have his cat there, of course.
He'd have a cardboard
he'd have his entire
cutout of Mr.
he'd have
Conductor.
Of course. He'd have his entire crew there. Like, for those who don't know,
Yeah.
Vinny doesn't just film with just a camera and a shotgun mic like us randos, us normies. He has like a professional camera operator and a lighting holder and a mic stand, stuff like that, mic holder, stuff like that. So that's what he would have. Percy number 6 would have a big block of cheese on his head.
Of course you would. Because stereotypes.
And he'd always be talking about the cargoes.
An old slow coach.
That old slow
Coach.
Matt Twillman would have a bunch of Nazi propaganda around his entire thing would be German themed.
Yeah, but he would
is-
hold a workshop on how to do customs, don't you think?
Yeah, of course.
And like when he wasn't doing the workshop, he'd be working on customs like at his booth, and people would be like, "Whoa, this guy's cool," and he's like, "Go away, I'm busy," and we're like, "Oh."
It'd be German themed, but it like somehow wouldn't be incredibly offensive. He'd find a way to not make it incredibly offensive.
He would straddle the border of, greatly offending like almost everybody out there and being hilarious at the same time.
We'd have Nathan. He'd be just at a booth about welcoming Stanley the entire time.
He'd be hanging upside down, wouldn't he? He'd be suspended from the ceiling upside down.
And then Nathan flipped over. he'd have a Thomas. He'd just have a booth entirely about Stanley.
He would have that scene. He'd have Welcome Stanley, and then the scene where Thomas flips over on replay. Like,
It'd just be on loop.
yeah,
just those two scenes.
it's like 10
Welcome
seconds.
Stanley, then Thomas flipped over. Welcome Stanley, then Thomas flipped. Milk Tinker Media would have a bunch of Legos at his booth, and he would also like be dressed up as the Flash or something like that.
I bet he would, yeah.
Thomas Wooden episodes. He'd have things be French.
He wouldn't be there. He'd be stuck in customs.
That's true. Scarlet Railway 01 would be dressed up as the engine inspector.
Yes.
I think that's about it. I think we got a pretty good convention hall there, I must say.
Yeah, and just because you're left out doesn't mean we don't like you. It just means that we slightly don't like you. But over...
yeah, and we can't think of, and you don't have a distinct enough shtick.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I think we got everybody that has like a distinct shtick there.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. We should make this a reality.
One day, like, I don't know. It'd be really cool to get everybody in one spot and have like a giant meetup.
We'd all be in our mid-80s right before we die.
Yeah, maybe we should just open the Thomas Wooden Railway Community Nursing Home, and we can finally right before we're about to go into adult diapers, as MPS said.
I mean, in me and Robert's crossover, we did talk about how we'd have the same room in the nursing home.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, there you go. It's foreshadowing. Right?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, my mind was blown there for a second by how amazed I was. Have you been affected by the subscriber purge on YouTube?
Is it going on right now?
Yeah. They're deleting a bunch of like old out of use accounts.
I did not even know that.
Has your subscriber count gone down? Wow. Has your subscriber count gone down at all?
I don't believe it has, no.
Somehow my MPS channel gained subscribers. I don't know how. I was at 1,672 before the purge, and now I'm at 1,677.
How long is this supposed to go on?
I don't know. I think like the rest of the week.
Wait, so if I Google YouTube purge... Oh, wait, that'll bring up the trailer. Like, purge subscriber, how about?
I think so. It doesn't look like you've lost many. I mean, you're at 67,000 something, so even if you did, it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, yeah, one day ago, huh. Interesting. I didn't even know. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, like right around like January to March of 2013, I got hit really hard by that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember talking to Josh about it, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I was making videos like pretty consistently at that point, and I was like, man, something's not right. Like, I'm working really hard, I'm uploading a lot of stuff, but I was pretty much like breaking even each day because I was still getting some, but I was losing a ton as well.
Luckily, this channel, the Grease and Oil channel, didn't lose any subscribers.
Oh, that's the most important thing.
Of course.
Hashtag bless up.
Hashtag bless up emoji. Hashtag GAOP. Guys, send us the dates that you're comfortable dying at, the year that you're comfortable dying at. Hashtag GAOP. You don't even need to put like age, just put like number, just like 62.
And if it's a
hashtag GAOP.
Yeah, if you do like something like 23, like give us a reason why. Just don't say that because that's really dark. Say like, oh, like I like died fending off, I don't know, like some mythical beast that
I got pushed into a smelting pit by Diesel 10 The Rock.
I don't know. That'd be a pretty good way to go.
I'd be okay with it.
If Morgan Freeman was just standing off to the side narrating the whole thing, it'd be like the way to go.
If I saw The Rock and Morgan Freeman, I'd be like, you know what? Some of us have to go.
It's my time. It's okay.
So me and Turtles and Thomas were using the Wayback Machine today. We were having some fun.
Uh-huh.
For those of you who don't know, the Wayback Machine lets you go back in time, to previous moments on YouTube. And we went back to the moments of your channel on YouTube. We went back to the moments on my channel, on his channel, Enterprising's channel, on Robert's channel. We went back to the moments on your channel. And I swear to God, almost all of them were of when you were gone.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how that is. Like, there's very few from 2008 and 2009, and then like there's two in 2010, two in 2011, and like two in 2012. And you're right, they're all of when I was gone. So my channel looks like vacant and honestly not very pretty. So
Turtles and me were absolutely shocked to see like the old YouTube layout again. We were like, "Whoa, what is this?"
Yeah, for those who don't know, there was a while there where like every 8 months or so, YouTube would change the layout, and it was so frustrating because you would just get used to the one you were using, and then it would be changed on you, and you'd have to relearn where everything was, and so it was really frustrating. But I think we've had the current design since like 2013, I want to say.
Yeah.
And
So I think
honestly, hopefully it doesn't change because this is
it's
pretty
not good,
good.
but we're used to it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like I wish there were still some more options. Like, I mean, you could really edit anything. Like, you could edit where stuff went because now,
It's
um,
just set location.
yeah, like like everything. It's hard to explain, but there used to be kind of like the left side and the right side of the page, and you
Right.
could just put stuff wherever you wanted, and you had an actual background and everything. And now you just have like a channel banner, and it honestly looks like a discount Facebook, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers, so oh well, we're at YouTube's mercy. But thankfully, they've kept it for like over 3 years. They've kept the same channel layout, which is really nice for people who use it every day.
Yeah, it's real good. Um, we went we also were surprised at because we remember that you could upload your own backgrounds.
Yep.
And like you remember you could make your own channel background like a certain color. So yours was like light blue or something like
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
Milk Tankers, when we went back to his, was like super like it was somehow really dark, but also super light blue at the exact same time, and it like scalded my eyes. I like couldn't see for a second. Me and Turtles both went, "Oh my god!" at like the exact same moment. It hurt. So Milk Tanker, I know it's too late now, but go back in time in your time. Borrow Eric's Tardai. Go back in time and tell your younger self to fix that shit. Get your channel in order,
No,
man.
literally, you could. I know what MPS is talking about. You could have like your background be blue, and you could have your font be orange, and you could have not the background, but it's like what the font is on, like the actual text part. You could have that be like yellow or something. So he's absolutely right. You could create some like really random combinations. And honestly, most of them didn't look good. That's probably why they got rid of it, honestly.
Or in your background, you could also upload like a picture.
Yeah.
Like on some of the ones we went on, your picture was of the thumbnail of the Trouble with Trucks.
Yeah, I had that for a while. I think I had that for like a really long time until the layout was changed, I'm guessing.
It's funny. I was looking at it today and I realized that you couldn't even see Thomas in the thing. It was just the trucks going into a tunnel with Jack just kind of hanging out in the corner.
Yeah, and it's weird because at one point that was like my most popular video on my channel. And I'm like, that's not like the best thumbnail either. Like I don't know how it became so popular, but now it's I guess popular in a sense because it's the thumbnail for the very first episode. But
Totally.
you're right. I think like Fred really stands out because he's bright orange
Hmm.
and Rickety,
Everybody knows Scruffy.
yeah, and Rickety stands out, and that's about it. It is like a very bland. This looks like it came from 2008 type thumbnail, which it did. So
I always thought that Thomas was in the picture, but I guess
no,
not.
there's a version. Like let's see. Let me Google the trouble with trucks.
This is gonna be another play along activity here, guys. Google the Trouble with Trucks at home.
Okay, yeah. So if you go to images, you'll see the one MPS is talking about. Like Scruffy is like halfway through the tunnel, and then it's Fred, there's Rickety, and then there's the giggling
Whoa!
troublesome truck, and then like right below that is another one it's like a five
It's got Thomas and Jack and
yeah,
Alfie.
it's like 5 seconds before the other one. And if you click on it, it actually goes to the now defunct Keep Grid
Thomas Railway
24.
Wikia.
Yeah, that I think people still edit.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
There's another one that's even down below that one that shows Thomas, Scruffy, Fred, and Rickety pulling into a station or something. It's like a real small
Oh,
image.
yeah, that's from the video.
Okay.
Yep, that's from the video because that was where the docks was.
Holy crap, yeah, people still edit this thing. What the heck? Last edited 5 days ago?
So
Dude, come
if you
on.
want some entertainment, you can look up the Geekgray24. I think I have two wikis actually.
Yeah, you do.
I had one that I started with a user named the Thomas Wooden Guy back in like 2010, and we worked on it
Thomas Wooden guy. What a guy.
yeah, he's a Thomas Wooden Guy, and we edited that one a lot, but then we both lost interest, and then the first one had kind of been compromised. I would be the nicest way to say that. Just everybody was editing everything, and it obviously wasn't very accurate. So then a couple years later, I made another one, but then the same thing happened. So then at that point, I just gave up. Okay, so for example, I'm on the Kikere24 and ThomasWoodenRailway.wikia.com, and I hit the random page button, and it sent me to something called the Magic Railroad, and it has a picture from an episode, Wilbert, Frank, and the Milk, which is from season 1 of my series. And it's just a random picture, and it says, the caption says, the magic buffers are near here, which is obviously not true at all, because if you remember the season 1 layout, there's no buffer. Like, there's buffers at the docks, but those weren't the magic buffers. Like, I never brought up the magic buffers. So, not to offend the people who edit the Wikia, but it's honestly, like, people just make stuff up. So, whatever you see on the Wiki, like I hit random page and it comes up with a page called Duck and then in parentheses song. This is an article about the song. You may be looking for the engine. Duck is a song. It is based on Duck's theme, and I obviously have never had a theme for Duck. Like, so I mean, it's just it is fun.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah, like I mean, I appreciate anybody and everybody who have edited this, but then like I hit random again and I come to a page on Ada, Jane, and Mabel, and what I've seen this a lot, what happens is people who edit the pages give like the entire backstory and history of the characters from the Railway series and the TV series, and they actually include pictures from the Railway series and the TV series. I don't know.
It's real weird.
Yeah, and so I just keep hitting the random page button, and like some of my newer episodes are in here. There's not a whole lot on them, and I mean it's really interesting. Like I'm glad somebody, I'm presuming it was several people, went through the trouble of trying to put this all together, but at the same time it's honestly like a complete mess. It's just so random and everything. But anyway,
I wanted to talk about one last topic because we're now an hour and 7 minutes in.
oh wow.
Somehow we made it. I don't know how. Virtual high five.
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah.
That was my face, dude.
Oh, my bad, dude. I couldn't even see your face.
I know. That was the best high five ever. We couldn't see each other, yet we nailed it.
Just kind of threw our arms at the webcams of our camera, even though they weren't on.
Yeah, I got a big fist in my laptop here, but...
God, this is such a stupid bit. So many dumb bits this episode. Oh, man. Okay. God. I want to talk about Percy number 6, bringing back Percy's Ever Present Past in this channel.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing from Thomas Wooden Railway Community Radio, which we canceled because we were too busy with life. But he brought it back.
Is it cool. Going to be on this channel?
It's going to be on his channel.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I was like, why would he do a different podcast on the Grease and Oil podcast channel?
No. This is our channel.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And by our channel, I mean mine and yours.
I'm
changing the password so Vinny can't get in.
Yeah, what was the password before? Like, I love Vinny, OMG.
It was Mr. MPS is the best, but with like the is spelled with like a Q that's silent and somewhere in there, and also with a Z instead of an S in the best.
Okay.
I'm kind of like scared of how quickly I came up with that dumb explanation.
Well, maybe it's the real password. You guys, everybody out there should try to hack the account and blow up his email.
I didn't say where the Q was though. In the password.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
Ooh,
it can't be that hard.
All right. So, yeah. So that's coming back on Person Number 6 channel. I'm very excited. The first guest is going to be Elnier Flying Scotsman. You know, he's a real partier.
Roberto.
He's a fellow Baja Blast aficionado. I love that dude. Guys, hashtag vote Baja Blast.
But choose the pitch black.
No, dude, I've made a Dew Tower, and Mountain Dew tweeted at me and liked my tweet
Aw.
and used the fire emojis when talking about my Baja Blast Tower. So it either meant they really liked it or they hated it so much they wanted to set it on fire. I'm gonna assume it as they liked it. So don't.
I think it's the other one.
That was one of the happiest days of my life.
I'm so happy for you.
Thanks, dog. You know what the second happiest day of my life was? When Kikra24 first tweeted at me.
Oh, when was that?
I don't know, sometime in freaking 2010.
2011. I didn't have a Twitter.
It wasn't actually that big of a deal to me if I can't freaking remember it.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You call yourself a fan, yet you can't remember the first time I tweeted at you?
You so-called fan.
Really?
Dude, this guy is such a savage on Twitter. Oh my god, he's vicious towards me and Turtles and Thomas.
Well, I give
such
them
a savage.
I give them a hard time. But
you give us guff.
I give them a hard time because I know they will just deflect it and it won't bother them. But maybe I'm
Say
too
that to
optimistic.
Turtles. He was expressing some issues with me. He was very upset.
He was?
He told me about how he's been crying lately, how he considered laying down on his layout and running train into himself. I talked him out of it, luckily, but he's very upset. So I want you to apologize to my friend Turtles and Thomas.
Well, maybe we should bring him on the podcast and he and I can work out some things that we need to work out.
In this corner, Turtles and Thomas, and in this corner, ThomasWoodenRailway. It sounded like a car, like an old lawnmower, like slowly dying.
Yeah. All right.
So dumb. This is dumb. We're running out of steam here. Pun absolutely intended. Guys,
Aren't we running
thanks
out
for tuning in.
Aren't we running out of oil?
Grease and oil.
We're running out of okay.
I hate this. This is the worst bit we've done this episode. Guys, thanks for watching this episode. Let me be respectful and talk about our guest first. Thank you for coming on the podcast and replacing Vinny at such short notice. ThomasWoodenRailway.
Oh, no problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Subscribe to him to replace like the 2 subscribers he lost on the subscriber purge. Follow him on Twitter at TWRailway. Go on his Facebook. Go on his Instagram. I think they're both Thomas Wooden Railway.
Yeah, Instagram is Thomas Wooden Railway, and then Facebook is Thomas Wooden Railway K24.
Yeah, that. Add him on Snapchat, TW Railway.
Yeah, that's true. For those,
because he has one of those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm Mr. MPS. Subscribe to me on YouTube if you're not already. I wonder who isn't subscribed to all of us already. Like, they're just like, oh, a random video about Thomas and friends. Sure, I'll watch this. Like,
yeah.
That made me sound really arrogant. I wonder who's not subscribed.
Well, no,
to all
it makes
of us.
sense. I was the only person I could think of would just be somebody who doesn't have an account, but maybe watches all of our videos.
Follow me on Twitter at Mr. MPS2002. Hashtag vote Baja Blast.
Hashtag bring back 2002 because
I hate you. I knew that was. I hate all of you.
Now we can,
especially Roberto, because he started that shit.
We can see who watches to the end of this podcast. If you use the hashtag bring back 2002,
then we'll know you are a true fan and we'll love you more.
Yeah, actually we will, because I honestly wouldn't even sit through an hour and 15 minutes of me just babbling on. So
I find it hard to sit through an hour and 15 minutes and me babbling on without being recorded.
You just do that on your own time?
In the middle of me talking, I'm just like, what am I doing with myself? I'm getting bored.
Shut up, dude. You sound so stupid, man.
Add me on Snapchat, MP Sonic. Unlike Kikra, I don't post specifically Thomas from Railway related stuff. I post random bullshit stories that you'll find. Mostly me talking about Baja Blast and DJ Khaled, and also making real dumb puns. I might upload a Snapchat compilation to my YouTube channel someday. I don't really know. Do I have any other social media? I don't think so. I have a personal Twitter, but
you have to. What's it? The Ask FM.
Oh yeah, do I still have that? Ask.fm/Mr. MPS 2002. Ask me questions, I guess. Email me stuff. mattmps2002@gmail.com. I don't know. I'm just
send him the weirdest pictures you find on the internet.
Send me weird pictures and send me movie pitches, I guess. Maybe if you want to add on to Edward Top Hat's question, I might read them on the podcast. Sure, go ahead. Next week we'll have Jay Louvier, which I'm very excited about. We'll also have Vincent Smith back, hopefully. 'Cause I don't want to have Josh as my co-host. I really don't. Hopefully we'll have Vinny back. I'll explain to him what Flip the Premise is, and I'll also explain to him about the movie pitch thing. I'll get him to pitch us a movie. It'll be good. That's about it. Thanks for watching, everybody. You anything to say to the people, Kiko?
No, thanks for watching, and hashtag bring back 2002.
All right, and now we fade out. Dun, 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 dun.